All right, so to solve the absolute value inequalities when the inequality sign is opening away from, so this is opening away from the absolute value, well, the only way that the absolute value of 2x plus 1 can be less than 5 is if what's inside is between negative 5 and 5. So when it's opening away from the absolute value, we're going to take what's inside, and that has to be less than 5 and bigger than negative 5. So then we subtract 1 from each side. We get negative 6 is less than 2x is less than 4, and divide both sides, or each part, by 2. So we get negative 3 is less than x is less than 2. So that means every value of x between negative 3 and 2 solves this inequality. So for example, if I have x equals 1, then this becomes the absolute value of 2 times 1 plus 1, and that's equal to 2 times 1 is 1, so that's equal to 3 inside, and the absolute value of 3 is 3. If x is equal to negative, say, negative 2, then I get, here, I put negative 2 in for that x. I get the absolute value of 2 times negative 2 plus 1, and that's going to be equal to the absolute value of negative 4 plus 1. So negative 4 plus 1, which is equal to the absolute value of negative 3, which is equal to positive 3. Okay, so since positive 3 is less than 5, then x equals negative 2 solves it. Okay, so every number between negative 3 and 2 solves this inequality. All right, so now let's take a look at the case when the inequality opens toward the absolute value. So suppose that's going to be bigger than or equal to 1. So when it's opening toward, when the inequality is opening toward the absolute value, well, this is going to be true if the inside is bigger than or equal to 1, or we take the inside if it's smaller than or equal to negative 1, then when I take the absolute value, it'll take all of those and make them positive. So I take what's inside and make it bigger than or equal to this number, and I take what's inside and make it smaller than or equal to the negative of this number. And then I just solve them individually. Okay, so we get 3x is bigger than or equal to 3, or 3x is smaller than or equal to 1. Just adding 2 to both sides. Here, add 2 to both sides. And then we get x is bigger than or equal to 1, divide both sides by 3, or x is smaller than or equal to 1/3. Again, divide both sides by 3. Okay, so this right here is the solution to this inequality. Okay, so once again, to recap, when the inequality opens away from the absolute value, we take what's inside and put it between the positive and negative. And when it's opening toward, we take what's inside and we make it bigger than or equal to this number and smaller than or equal to the negative of this number.